Hare Krishna. There is only one type of person who can walk over death, who will not be controlled by this Kala Chakra, and that is a pure devotee of Krishna. He can choose when he wants to leave this body and go back to Krishna. And we see in the lives of Bhishma Deva, Srila Prabhupada, and so on, how they actually could decide when they wanted to leave the body and go. So, why is it that rest of us are all completely under the clutches of the Kala Chakra? And that is because we are not yet qualified to go back home, back to Godhead. And that's why our freedom to reside wherever we want has been curtailed. And the reason why we go through this repeated births and then, uh, in different bodies, and then having a particular time, some types of experiences in a particular body, all these things are happening because of our past karma, past activities which continue, and that is grouped around a particular kind of mind. And this is what is binding us. And we are actually supposed to evolve ourselves through every birth. We are supposed to keep improving so that we can go back to Godhead. But instead of doing that, if we get completely engrossed in trying to enjoy this material energy, then we are actually not going according to Krishna's plan of wanting to elevate us back home, back to Godhead. Instead, we are actually going down, and we are in devolution. We are going down in our consciousness. Maybe we can go back to animal life again, or animalistic people, or demoniac people. Krishna says that those who don't surrender to him, he casts them into repeated births of demoniac births. So this is very dangerous, and we have to be very responsible about what is the purpose of life. There are so many things which look very rosy and attractive in life, and then we get so mesmerized, we absorb ourselves in that, forgetting about the actual purpose of life. And mostly we are also attached to our false egos tremendously, and to our minds, and then we we don't want to give up. We think that is what whom we really are, and we don't want to come up to the real platform of spirit soul, which is full of love, which is full of knowledge and eternality. So this is how the wheel of time is meant only for conditioned souls, those who don't surrender to Krishna. And on the other hand, when we take the instructions of Krishna, of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to our heart, and are completely involved in improving ourselves. Every moment we must be wanting to progress, and that's how people are. That's a normal psychology. Everyone wants to keep progressing, but people, what they think is material progress is actually not really progress. And it's not enough if we are only thinking of ourselves. If we see other people are going down, are actually getting degraded, then we should try to reach out to them and somehow or the other save them. We are not going to think about niceties, etiquettes. If somebody is just going to fall off the cliff, we'll somehow drag them out and then later on explain why you did that drastic act of pulling them against their wishes. So, in trying to save people, it's not that we can force anybody, but we never give up on them. Somehow or the other, we have to get them into Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, Prabhupada said we are committing violence, because people are heading towards, repeated birth and death. And if we allow it to happen, then we are like abetting in that their suicide attempt. So actually every day we have to start with some kind of a focus that today's day should be something very wonderful for the pleasure of Krishna, something very inspiring, something that will uplift us and others. Am I doing something which is going to be of benefit for my own family members, for all those whom I encounter and will encounter? And all our thoughts, because we have a duty not only to ourselves but to all those who are with us, in trying to be an example, in trying to be an inspiration, so that everyone can be saved from this repeated death. And that's the mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was so very concerned for the suffering of human beings, and that's why he's got so many different techniques to somehow get back the people, even those who are not at all interested, somehow get them also to swim in the ocean of love of Krishna. Hare Krishna.